Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I hope you've all had an amazing start to your week. Today, guys, we're going to be covering a number of different topics. We're going to, of course, be looking at Cardano on a more shorter term time frame and telling you where we're at today. We're going to look at it on a bigger time frame and really highlight what we pointed out in yesterday's video, and that is that golden entry point that I am looking for to accumulate more Cardano in the anticipation of continuation in this bull market. And we are in a bull market, guys. Let me make that very apparent, and we're going to make it apparent in this video. We're also going to take a look at Bitcoin. We're going to look at a number of articles, and this is one that I really want to start on because I have a very good opening statement to make, and this is that PayPal launches its cryptocurrency services in the UK. Now, why is it that I am bringing this up? Well, right now, guys, you have a number of very, very large companies, very large institutions trying to facilitate the transacting, the buying, the selling, and the acceptance of crypto. They are doing this because they believe that this is the way the future is moving towards. Much the same as many companies back in the 1990s, the later part to the early 2000s, had to get on board with the digital revolution and understood that if they didn't adapt to the way the world was moving, the way technology was moving, that they were going to miss out. You now have a similar thing taking place, and this is why, and this is all going to link around to what I'm going to talk about in this video. This is why you should be a hodler in this space, because you are going to do just fine as a hodler. I had many people in yesterday's video asking me if they should sell to accumulate at a lower price. How many of you guys think you were going to do that accurately? And I can tell you right now that the vast majority of people will get that wrong. Not only that, you may get it right, but there will come a time where you get it wrong and you get it seriously wrong. I've been here for 4 years and I've made that mistake many, many times. I actually have a lot of friends in this space that have made serious mistakes doing that. You will do just fine as a hodler, ladies and gentlemen. People are talking to me about selling. We know what the price is doing. It's just going sideways. I'm going to show you that this is a very, very common trait of Cardano before we see a break. We're going to talk about things like volume. How are people bearish in a bull market? It just doesn't make sense. You're going against the trend. And if you're going to leave a comment in my comment section saying that we're going to sell off, that's fine. I actually encourage adverse views. I want people, if we all thought the same thing, the world would be a very, very boring place. So I'm encouraging people to have an alternative view to mine. But if you're going to say that we're going to sell off, leave me a reason, because maybe you know something that we don't and we can all share as a community. Because at the end of the day, guys, I'm not married to my beliefs. And what I mean by that is I believe that Cardano is going to get to $7.50 to $10 within this bull run. We've looked at Elliott wave theory. We made a very long video around about 20 minutes, around about 30 minutes, sorry, talking about it and mapping it out and why I believe in this price prediction, unlike many other people in the space that just throw out a big round number and say we're going there. I'm not married to it. If some information came to light that was of significant merit, then of course I would change my views accordingly. But right now, the views that I held and the views that I talked to you guys about on this channel are the views that I believe in. And I want to make that very, very clear. We live in a world full of scams, essentially. We live in a world full of people trying to take money off you and extort you in weird and wonderful ways. This is not what this channel is doing. I've never once asked anybody, go and check my description. There's not even a referral link in there, and it'd be very easy for me to do that. The reason I've left it out, and I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to have those in there. If you like a product, sure, why not? It's just because I really want to show people I don't want anything out of you guys other than your attention, and that perhaps you learn something from these videos. And I would have loved somebody like myself to help me along back in 2017 when I made all the mistakes that you could have possibly done. And that's what I'm here sharing with you on this channel. So now that we've got all that spiel out of the way, guys, I hope that was interesting. I hope you can kind of see that this is the way the space is going. And at $2.30 trillion market cap, 2.3 I should say, we are still very small. This is going to get to the tens of trillions and perhaps one day into the hundreds. I'm not saying that's going to happen in the next year, maybe perhaps 10, 15 years down the line. In an inflationary environment, people are going to look for a hedge against that. And this is exactly what crypto, certainly Bitcoin, provides, and is why it has been such an interesting investment to date. So let's talk about the price, ladies and gentlemen. Well, yesterday, if you're not following me at Twitter, guys, head over to @RealAllInCrypto. We updated you and we said, look, Cardano is just coiling up right now. We've got a touch of deja vu. We keep setting up these kind of falling wedges, popping to the upside of them before kind of consolidating and coiling up. That's what we're doing. We're tightening the springs. And we made this call at $2.90. I think today you're at $2.85. So it sold off by about 5p. And people are worried about this, even though we essentially just went through a 70% sell-off. I'm going to make a long video about how markets actually work, because I think many people out there don't quite understand that the price selling off by 70% doesn't mean that people have dumped 70% of their Cardano. What it means is the liquid supply, which is a very small amount of the overall supply, was sold. So if 70% staked, maybe 20% is liquid, maybe 10% is liquid and on exchanges, and that was sold. So 10% of the overall supply was sold, which caused it to sell off by 70%. Price, in actual fact, in terms of what we're looking at right now, is a very poor representation of true value, and this is why, looping back into my opening statement about this is the way the world is moving towards, you need to look at the fundamentals and the bigger picture here. That's always an important thing to remember. And the majority of you guys out there, although this isn't financial advice, you guys do whatever you believe is right and you own your outcomes. The majority of people out there should hodl this market and you will do just fine. Go and ask the people who got in early on Bitcoin or Ethereum how they made their money, and they said it's as simple as this. They bought and sold. As somebody who's in these markets who does swing trades with 5% of his portfolio, by the way, let me make that absolutely apparent. 95% of my portfolio, which I add to weekly, monthly, whenever I get the opportunity, is sat there, and I do not, even during this 60% or 66% sell-off for Cardano, 55% sell-off for Bitcoin, VECHAIN sold off unbelievably 80% or so. I held all of it and took it as an opportunity to accumulate, because I believe that timing these markets is not the right thing to do. You will lose out way more times than you win. So that's where we are today, guys. Essentially, you're doing much and such of the same thing. And this is a very common trait of Cardano. I'm going to show you that very quickly. You can see we just went sideways here before we had a break. Very, very common trait for Cardano. Can you see this sideways action before you get your break? Sideways action before you get a break. Sideways action before you get a break. This is how it goes, guys. You have this sideways action and you get a break, typically to the upside in an uptrending Elliott wave, which we believe we're in. We don't believe we're in a downtrend. We believe we are now in an uptrend. That was signaled by the falling wedge that we popped out of, and this is really setting up for more continuation. You're just essentially coiling up right now before we get that break to the upside. And those of you who think you're going to be able to sell in order to buy at a lower price, you might be that unlucky person who sold only for us to have that break and you to be left having to accumulate at a higher price. And this is really what's going on, and I've overlaid this for you on a number of occasions. People think because we're going sideways that it means we're going down. We overlaid this schematic for Bitcoin. This was taken from over here, guys. We overlaid it and applied it to today, and you can see that these literally match up perfectly, ladies and gentlemen. And we do believe you've got a lot more upside to come for not only Bitcoin but the crypto space as a whole, and altcoins are going to outperform significantly. We still believe that Cardano is going to get to that $7.50 to $10 price range. I'm very, very I'm confident in that and until I get information to suggest otherwise, and you guys will be the first that I will let know. So you've got nothing to fear. Now, in regards to this golden entry point on the daily time frame, this is what we were looking for. We're looking for this reconnection with this EMA here, because you get it every single time in an uptrend. It doesn't have to happen now. It could happen when we're at a higher price, but that's what I'm waiting for. Much the same as can you see in these upward moves, you always come back and touch your EMA. I keep going on about this to you guys. In every single one, after you have an impulsive move, you come back. Impulsive move, come back. And this is that sideways action that I just showed you on the charts. And you had your bullish cross on the daily that you have at the start of every single Elliott wave move to the upside. So you had it on your first wave, your third wave, and you've now got it on your fifth. This will come back and you'll kind of get, can you see? They kind of touch off each other before you get continuation. And this is what I'm really looking for an entry point right now for Cardano. I'm happy to sit and wait. I'm very happy and don't need to accumulate in a rush. I've been accumulating really very heavily in 2020 and really late 2019. And I'm happy with my position so far. And if I get the opportunity, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I would say there is quite a high likelihood of things playing out. This could come up. You could go sideways a little bit. You come down here, guys. You come back to this EMA. You can go like this. This EMA creeps up. You get that kind of touch. You get this kind of forming here before you then get continuation to the upside. And that's the golden entry point that I'm kind of looking for. And the reason I'm looking for that is really simple. And I've already explained it on a number of different occasions, just because this is kind of how the markets move. In these uptrending kind of Elliott waves, these would have, in hindsight, looking back on previous data, been perfect entry points. And I'm here to suggest that I think this is going to continue. So we're very bullish. And the main message, the main takeaway from today's video, guys, is just hang tight. You know, this market, for people that don't know what they're doing, isn't for being traded. Yes, you will get lucky on a number of occasions, but you will get just as unlucky on others. And that's really the main takeaway, is to HODL. Stay strong. If you've done your due diligence and you've invested accordingly to that, you will do just fine, guys. And I'm ultimately very, very heavily in Cardano because I believe it is a superior blockchain to many out there. I'm not a Cardano maximalist. There are plenty of other blockchains out there that are better in certain fields than Cardano, but Cardano is a nice overall rounded smart contract building block for the crypto space. For me, is certainly one of my favorites. That is all I really have for you in this video, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, you know, the kind of direction that the cryptocurrency space is moving in, and you know where we are today. Monday's a bit of a sell-off day. My prediction is that this is not going to last long, guys, and we are going to see continuation. And remember what Cardano does. It kind of crabs before you get these breakouts, and you don't want to be that unlucky person that sold here thinking we were going to go lower, only to miss out on a pretty epic move to the upside. That's all I have for you in this video, ladies and gentlemen. Remember the fundamentals, remember the long-term gold, and the rest will fall into place. And remember, hodlers are the ones that make money in this market. Very few and far between traders actually outperform hodlers. That's all I have for you, guys. I'm going to love and leave you on that note. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. If you enjoyed the content, like is always appreciated. So is a comment, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching, guys.